And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom. We're live, baby. MMA Gossip. I didn't even ask Mike what episode, but it's got to be close to 60, if not 60. We're just about there. So thank you all for sticking with us. Just as any other week, there's a lot going on in MMA this week. Jake Paul and Ben Askren are fucking finally going to box each other. Marvin Vettori coming off a big win. Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker. Eddie Alvarez is going to fucking box Oscar De La Hoya, it's looking like. McGregor and Poirier, I almost said Mayweather. McGregor and Poirier 3 is going down. Full fucking crowd. T-Mobile Arena. We'll be firing. But this week we got Bellator 257 going on Friday. And then Saturday we got UFC Vegas 24. So again, thank you all for following along. If you're still listening, do us a favor and hit that like button real fast. It takes 1 second, helps us out a lot. Like, comment, subscribe at MMA X Gossip across the board. We got like 121 subscribers or something now, so we're doing all right. Thank you for sticking with us. Mike?
Matt, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Better red or dead?
What?
Better red or dead?
Oh, dead.
What do you guys think about the backlash Rose is getting? I think she went. I didn't see the episode yet, but I think she went on Helwani's show, and then Helwani kind of gave her a chance to maybe rephrase what she said or take it back. And she goes, "No, I stand by what I said."
Good for her, dude. Helwani's a pussy, bro. Seriously.
I just think it's funny how Twitter social media in general, just people go uproar like, get mad that she's calling Whaley a communist and shit. Like, not that she directly said that, but like, people like to put words in people's mouths. Like, people like to assume things, but for me, it's just entertaining, scrolling through, seeing Twitter keyboard warriors.
Bro, you can't take that shit seriously.
Yeah, can't beat that. Chrissy Bellator, do you want to run us through?
Yeah, I'll run you through. I'll pull up the card right now. Well, I have it up, I should say. Where is it? Right here. All right. Bellator 257, like I said before, it is a continuation of the Bellator light heavyweight Grand Prix, and the champion's going to be defending his belt. I think this matchup's a little wonky. Like, I don't know why. I feel like you would give Nemkov, being the champ, the easiest matchup straight off the rip, but that's not the case. So we have Vadim Nemkov taking on, in a rematch, Phil Davis. Phil Davis, obviously Penn State wrestler, come across in the UFC, did amazing in Bellator, was the light heavyweight champion at one time. So there's not too much to say here. If you want to see the fight, they already fought once. Watch it. It was a split decision, super close fight. I told these boys to bet on Nemkov a little while ago. I think Mike said he got him at minus 140. The line's like minus 200 now. So some people missed the boat, but there's still time to get on. Seems like MMA Twitter, who I pay no attention to, is getting on Phil Davis lately. But maybe they're not just familiar with Vadim Nemkov, but not too sure. So, 5 rounds, champion's defending his belt. Other than that, the card isn't too hot. Co-main event is also part of the light heavyweight Grand Prix. We have Corey Anderson taking on, I'm going to butcher his name, Dolvitsdan Yagshamirdov. He's one of those ACA Russian dudes. I think he's Turkish, actually. So correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of people have a lot of good things to say about him. I didn't know too much about him before I started digging into it. And it was funny because after Ryan Bader beat Lyoto Machida last week, they asked him, and he didn't know shit about him, which was hilarious. I'm sure I don't think Corey knew too much about him coming into this. They did a couple interviews. Corey's coming in as a small favorite, 14-5 record to Dolvitsdan's 18-5 record. He's been fighting those crazy Russians over there, the Magomedovs, the Yuridovs, the Adovs, the Nurmagomedovs, so
if it ends in OV, it's good enough for me.
He's got good wrestling, sambo, and can strike too. But so I'm really interested to see how this plays out. I guess he'll get introduced to the American audience nicely. Corey Anderson, second fight in Bellator, coming off a win over 77-year-old Melvin Manhoof. So we'll see what Corey's got for a true light heavyweight.
I'm going to bet on Corey and be mad at myself within the first 3 minutes, and he's going to be face down on the canvas.
I've said it for the longest time, boys. You know me. Moral of the story, Corey Anderson can be elite, but he's got to rely on his chin at some points in time, and it just absolutely fails him. So we'll see. Then Bellator staple, Vado Ortega taking on Desiree Yanez, 5-4 versus 5-2. classic Bellator fashion. The last fight on the main card, it's a 4-fight main card, I believe, is a catchweight fight, and it's Paul Daly. Yes, Paul Daly is back yet again. He's retired 6 times, says he hates Bellator. He loves Bellator. Bellator is the worst place to be. Bellator is the best place to be. Taking on Saba Homasi, who at this point in your career, if you haven't knocked him out, what are you doing? I see. I don't know what the odds are on this, but I definitely see Semtex getting a fat W. I was saying before to Mike, I don't really look at the odds. I kind of just
He's minus 185.
There you go. I just see Semtex doing what Semtex does, and maybe actually, genuinely, truly, finally retiring after this fight. We shall see. Then we move on to the fairly weak prelims, where Julia Budd takes on Diana Silva. Julia Budd coming off her title loss. She's going to go in. It's probably like how big of a favorite is Julia
Minus
Budd?
1,300.
There you go. Enough said. I'm not going any further than that. She lost her belt to Cyborg in pretty dominant fashion, but Julia Budd is clearly the second best 145er that Bellator has, and there's no one close after that. Third on the prelims is Carl Albrechtsen taking on Victor with a K, Nemkov. If you're wondering, yes, he is the older brother of Vadim Nemkov, and these guys are both borderline like top 10 in Bellator. So one of them, with a big win here, especially if Albertson's able to beat Nemkov, that would kind of, just name value enough, could put him up in the division a little bit. So that'll be interesting. This fight is probably my favorite fight. Mike's second favorite fight on the card is Pedro Cavallo taking on JJ Wilson. Pedro Cavallo training at SBG, obviously lost in the featherweight Grand Prix to the champ, Patricio Pitbull. Who the fuck hasn't at this point? He got beat pretty bad, but he's looking real good before that, and I still have real high hopes for him. Like, he got beat by Pitbull, like, big whoop. JJ Wilson, Bellator really likes him. He's undefeated. He's 6 or 7-0. Super well-rounded, super good grappler. He had a grappling bout with what's his name, the older Tackett brother. I think his name is William Tackett. And the Tackett brothers, if you don't know who the fuck they are in jiu-jitsu, learn. They're real good. So no shame in that loss. Then Mike's favorite fight on the card, Mads Burnell taking on Sal Rogers, 2 ex-UFC guys. Sal Rogers didn't perform too well on Tough. He's got really fucking sweet tattoos. So he's an exciting fighter, but he goes out on his shield. This is a low-key banger on the card. Mike, you got any input on this? Because I know you're hyped for this.
The only reason I'm hyped for it is because I remember Mads Burnell beating the shit out of Arnold Allen for 2 straight rounds before he got submitted. And then I saw on the exhibition matches on the Ultimate Fighter, Rogers, what's his last name? Is that his name?
Sal Rogers. Sal.
Yeah, he beat the shit. Like, when I say beat the shit, like, he beat the shit out of Billy Quarantillo and Ryan Hall. So, yeah. I mean, like, they have reputable wins on there. They're both awesome grapplers. So, really good grapplers delight here. But I got to edge Madsen to probably get a submission along the way.
I completely agree. But, 2 UFC vets fighting Bellator, got to love it. Classic. Then a couple of other prelims that nothing really of note except Mr. Top 10 Sports Center himself, Raymond Daniels, with his astonishing 2-1 MMA record, is taking on Peter Stanonik, who no one in the MMA world has ever fucking heard of, with a 5-4 record. This fight is set up. Raymond Daniels, kickboxing superstar, and won Bellator. He's a Bellator kickboxing champion. Remember when that? What'd you say?
There's not even odds for this fight.
Yeah, well, there'll be minus 20,000 because Raymond Daniels is going in there for a flashy highlight reel KO. Fun fact, I don't know, I'm sure you guys both know this, but he's married to Sage Northcutt's sister. I don't know if you knew that. Fun fact, you know me with the families and you know me. But she fights him one herself, and she's actually pretty good. I can't think of her first name off the top of my head. It'll come to me. But yeah, they're married, and think about the fucking kickboxing that goes on in that household. You know what I mean? Pretty cool. So
Colby,
expect some flash there, and then down the list is just classic Bellator. So that is your Bellator 257 roundup. I'll obviously be fucking watching. I think my love for Bellator Matt was a Bellator hater, and
I bet on every fight like his
now. Yeah, I love Bellator, dude. Bellator is. I said to Matt the other day, they embrace the weird. MMA is such a weird sport, the weirdest people, the weirdest combination of people. You know what I mean? Like there's some weird motherfuckers that love MMA, including us three. And it just makes for an awesome time. And Bellator embraces the fucking weird. You know what I mean? That the wacky, the promote yourself as a psychopath. Bellator embraces that. And they have the most fucked up shit, main events ending in eye pokes and groin strikes and get, hyped up to be let down, get let down to be hyped up. Bellator does it all. And I fucking love it.
I'm pumped for that JJ Wilson fight. I like watching him, even though that one time he screwed me.
Tyron Claxton, me too, bro. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I remember that. Before we head on over to UFC Vegas 24, guys, let's just give our opinions on the whole McGregor-Dustin Poirier debacle, right? We got to talk about it for at least a moment. So lay of the land, Dustin calls out Conor, said he never paid, but, called him out publicly, said he never paid the donation. Conor said it wasn't a debt. It was a donation. I reached out. You guys didn't give me information on where the money's going. Dustin comes back, says you never responded, blah, blah, blah. What do you make of this? And do you pick a side or not? Just let it play out for promotional purposes. What do you think, Chris?
Both. There's no right, wrong, this, that, the other thing. Like I'm sure I off the McGregor, I don't mean I'm off the McGregor shit, but like that aside, like, dude, the $500,000 seemed like a promise, right? Dustin wasn't going to fucking pocket it. Give the dude $500,000. He puts up 1 million pictures. The Good Fight Foundation, very well known. That money should have been there a long time ago. But Dustin clearly did it for promotion purposes, clearly to get under McGregor's skin. It clearly worked. They're going back and forth. The third fight is going to be fucking wild. They did 1.6 million pay-per-views on, and their cards, whenever McGregor fights, it's always a poopy card. But that's, correct me if I'm wrong, July 10th, that's going to be International Fight Week. So they'll probably stack that fucking card. Dude, I'm calling it. You heard it here first. We'll clip this shit come July. That's going to do over 2 million pay-per-view buys, 100%. Fans are back. It's going to be a full fucking 20,000 person, arena in Vegas. The UFC is going to promote the shit out of it. It's going to be an awesome card. And with McGregor, Dustin headlining it, third time's a charm, easily over 2 million pay-per-view buys. So it's all is good in love and war. Moral of the story.
Matt, you got thoughts on it, or just say whatever, let's fight?
Yeah, whatever. I agree with everything Chris said. Whatever, let's fight. All I know is Conor better win that fucking fight, man. I better not see him go down again.
I know. Interested to see what kind of stance he's going to come out in, what kind of haircut he's going to have. All these.
That's why I think. I'm not going to get into it now because of it's so far out. We have actual fights to talk about that are happening. But I feel like a reason Conor's going to win, aside from I think he actually had ring rust in the last fight, is that when you win, you don't make adjustments. What's Dustin going to do differently? If he comes out throwing leg kicks again and Conor's not prepared for leg kicks, that's his own fucking fault. You got to think he's going to be prepared. What does he try this time that's different? Where does he try to take the fight? What's his little trick up his sleeve? But neither here nor there right now. It's a long time out.
Yeah, the only thing is I heard Rogan say a little bit of it, and I agreed 70% of the way, but there's clearly something broke with what McGregor's doing, and it needs to be fixed, right? He can't just come in, promote the fight, go in, and expect to knock Dustin Poirier out, who's been beating every fucking lightweight there is. You know what I mean? In the past, when's the last time McGregor won a fight at lightweight? Eddie Alvarez, right?
Yeah.
That was in what year was that? 2016?
15, I think.
15, the fall of 2015, maybe? Dude, what the fuck? That's years ago. It feels like light years ago. You know what I mean? But light years is actually distance, isn't it?
It is.
Anyway, yeah, man. Something's broke there and it needs to be fixed. Dude, perfect example. And I'm not saying for him to switch camps. SBG is home. That's been his thing. He got this far doing it. So stick with
2016.
2016. Okay, well, there you go. But James Gallagher right now is training with James Krause. That is an awesome fucking move for James Gallagher to grow his game. And Kavanaugh is still in his corner. So now you're going to have James Krause and John Kavanaugh in your corner. That sounds like an all-star fucking corner to me.
Not like that, man. If you feel like he's been at this camp so long, and I'm not saying it's Kavanaugh, but it's to the point where, I feel like he's running his own camp. There's no one there to make him better. I feel like I have no evidence of this at all, but if I had to guess, I think he's probably surrounded by a lot of yes men that just hold pads for him, and he does a bunch of shit. and they give him guidance on like cardio related things and dietary. But I think that he just has been doing the same training for so long. And I think it goes to what Chris said. He just hasn't really developed any new tools. I mean, if you want to call the shoulder strike new, I mean, it's really not. But Conor just did it more effectively than anybody. So of course it blows up. But yeah, like imagine Conor coming out and all of a sudden mixes in a legit takedown. I'd be like, okay, like you want to start winning again. You're ready to try. You're not just in there looking for those couple shots that put people out. So, and how long have I been saying that? That I don't want to see Conor leave his camp, but I would just, bounce around a bit, get some outside opinions, develop your game a little bit if you're that serious about winning as you say you are.
Yep.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's going to come in 100% prepared, make the adjustments necessary, and put on a much better performance. I'm not going to say he's going to win. I'm going to be rooting for him, but I do think it's going to be a much closely contested match, barring him knocking Dustin out.
He's going for you think he's getting the knockout?
I think that's how Conor usually wins.
I don't think that fight. Think about it 10 times. I think it goes to decision once.
Yeah, I don't see it going to decision. I think one of them is going to get.
You're ready 2 for 2.
Yeah. All right, UFC.
5 rounds and shit.
Yeah, 5 rounds. It's a big factor. I mean, Conor's almost always in 5 rounds, but so is Dustin at this point in his career. But yeah. UFC Vegas 24. We got Whittaker going up against Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin coming in on short notice here. Not too short notice, probably about maybe 3 weeks or so. But let's just talk about this matchup real quick because the card is really weak. Honestly, I think Bellator's card is better. But so Kelvin has always had a problem with motivation, right? Ever since his time on the Ultimate Fighter, he came out like a whirlwind, beat Uriah Hall to get that contract. And then from there, it's been kind of a bumpy road, definitely more up than down, considering he had a great fight with Adesanya. But, I feel like the moments where he's supposed to shine, he kind of doesn't. And then I'm not going to say he folds. He's definitely fights his heart out, but I feel like sometimes motivation is hard for him. But I got a hot take, guys. I'm picking Gastelum to win this fight.
Here we go.
I'm picking Gastelum to win this fight. He's going to knock out Whittaker, Matt.
God, yeah.
Matt, are you telling me? Hold on, Matt. Are you telling me that minus 265 on Whittaker is justified against Kelvin Gastelum, who went 5 rounds with Adesanya? Are you kidding me?
If I didn't watch Robert Whittaker just outstrike Darren Till for 5 rounds and beat him and beat Jared Cannonier, who's, if you stack Kelvin Gastelum on top of Kelvin Gastelum, you have Jared Cannonier. He beat him decisively. I think that he took the correct amount of time off. I think he's a lot better than he showed against Izzy. And I think that the biggest question is chin. It's been holding up against massive punchers. And
he gets dropped all the time, dude.
Okay, but he didn't get dropped by Cannonier, did he?
No, but he got dropped by Till. He got dropped by Yoel 100 times. He got knocked out.
Getting dropped by Till and Yoel is like it's Till and Yoel. Like
he got knocked out by Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Mike, 13,000 years ago.
Dude,
literally
almost how many times has Gastelum been knocked out?
I don't know.
He's never been knocked out. He's been
knocked out. Dude, he just ate a flush knee from Heinisch in the last fight and just took it on the chin.
Whittaker's going to be so much bigger, and I think that's why we always see Kelvin lose those bigger fights is because he beats up on guys until he gets to the upper echelon, top of the division. He just, I get it. He went 5 rounds with Izzy, but then he doesn't win a fight till he faces Ian dogshit Heinisch. I think
he's going to knock Whittaker out.
We'll see. I mean, it's definitely possible. His chin's been touched, but I haven't seen anything out of Kelvin Gastelum to make me think he's anything – honestly, ever. I've been saying this even before he was fighting Izzy. I didn't think he deserved that title fight. He went to a split decision against Jacare and beat Michael Bisping, who fought a week earlier. And before that, he was a loss and a no contest. I've always thought the absolute least of Kelvin Gastelum, and I'm continuing it. Continuing that.
You always know it. You really have been never
make 170 pounds where you belong. You're never gonna hold the belt up here, dude. And he's good. He is good. He would just be better at 170. He's 5'9".
Yeah, no, I agree. Is he really minus 265? That's pretty fucking.
Bro, I got Kelvin. I put $50 plus 2.
Now he's down to 220 on average. 220, 210 somewhere.
I got plus 215 for Gastelum, so that means Whittaker's got to be at least minus 250.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I do think that Robert Whittaker's. Oh man, I don't even know if I'm thinking historically, but I think Whittaker is the better fighter. I do think Whittaker's gonna win. That sounds crazy. Like I would not have guessed that. I thought it'd be like 160, 165. You know what I mean? That's a lot. That's a big line. But yeah, I mean, Kelvin hasn't really looked himself lately, and I don't know what it is because he's one of those guys. I'm the polar opposite of Matt. I always count Kelvin into fights. I remember against Adesanya, me and you were adamant that was going to be a fucking scrap, Mike, and Matt was like, but
he's scrappy. I just think he can't get over that hump. And we also see a lot of wrestling out of Whittaker lately that I think that could play a factor too.
We see a lot of wrestling out of Kelvin too.
Yeah,
that's true. He did do a lot against Heinisch, but I think that was more countering what Heinisch was doing because Heinisch clearly didn't want to stand with him.
Also, one thing that I've been taking away, sorry, Mike, I watched Tough highlights. I was just telling Mike this before you got on, Matt. And one of the things was a 3-mile run. The coach's challenge on Tough was a 3-mile run. And Whittaker overlapped Gastelum, and Gastelum was throwing up. So, like, not that has anything to do. This isn't a fucking race. It's a fist fight. I think just having that mental edge over Gastelum, knowing like, yo, we were both in the same desert heat in Vegas, doing a 3-mile thing. I overlap you. And when Gastelum was throwing up, Whittaker didn't even look to the side. He just kept running, kept his pace. Like, Whittaker is super good at being level-headed. And I just think that having that win in his mind, he knows, you know what I mean? And especially at that time, like I think if they fought at that point in time, I think he would have been probably a bigger favorite than he is now. And his size, he is fucking gigantic. And Kelvin is undersized for 185. So
yeah, I'm definitely chasing the odds a little bit here. If it was like a pick 'em or like you said, like a 165, I'd be like, all right, let's see how the fight plays out. But you're gonna give me plus 215. Like, bro, I think Kelvin has some of the most underrated head movement, like in the entire UFC. Like the way that he knocked out Bisping with that like boom, and then that left hook, and the way that he dropped Izzy a few times. And bro, I think he's like made leaps. I really do think it's a motivation thing. Like if he's coming off the couch, I think he's gonna get his ass whooped. But if he's gonna keep motivated, I mean, like, bro, how underwhelming was it when he looked so good, like physically going into the Hermanson fight, and then he gets heel hooked? I'm like, bro, at that point I was like, damn, it might be over for you in terms of title runs. But here he is on the cusp of, if he wins this fight, I mean,
what do you think about Vettori? Do you think Vettori fights the winner of this fight?
I think if there's an exclamation point on this fight, like in terms if there's a good finish or like a dominant win on either side here, I think they'll get propelled over Vettori. But if it's a little lackluster, a little underwhelming, I could see him giving it to Vettori. There's a storyline there.
Especially because Vettori, I'm not going to discredit him, but it's been boring as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
he's fighting to not lose.
If Vettori fought Izzy, I could see and the odds were astronomical. I would bet on Vettori.
I feel that. Takedowns.
Yeah.
Jakar Close plus 100 going up against Jeremy Stephens.
I think Stephens is going to touch his chin.
I don't really have an opinion on this fight, or nor do I care.
I just keep picturing what's his name did to Close.
Yeah, I'll just favor Jeremy slightly because of the odds and because
I like when Jeremy wins too.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he's won in a long time.
He hasn't. I wanted to.
Yair was twice. He got knocked out by Calvin.
Damn.
Who was his last win before?
Josh, he knocked out. Remember, he broke Emmett's jaw.
He was on a 3-fight win streak. He was Melendez, Doho, Choi, and Emmett.
And then he lost to Aldo.
Was the beat. No contest with Yair. Lost to Yair, Calvin.
That was the main event. That was the eye poke, right? They were in Mexico, and the fight lasted like 10 seconds.
Yep.
That's brutal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't really have a dog. I mean, I would rather just see Jeremy Stephens win, but from a betting perspective, nothing. I just want to see Jeremy win as a fan, like Matt said.
All right, guys. So, that's honestly maybe the only two fights on this card worth talking about, unless you want to talk about Luis Pena, Alex Munoz, Ramos Algio, Abdul Razak Al Hassan, Arlovsky.
He's knocked out again. No, I'm like, he's probably a huge favorite.
300. Yeah, he's going to knock out Jacob.
Malkoun. From what I hear, Malkoun is kind of like Robert Whittaker's boy, and he's just like kind of, hey, Dana, can you get my boy in the promotion kind of thing? So
sure. Here's Al Hassan. Carries Dynamite.
First, it was Phil Hawes who put his lights out in like 30 seconds, and now it's Al Hassan.
I mean,
Tracy Cortez is so hot. Sorry.
Dude, I can't wait to see her in that.
Justine is gonna shit herself in the cage again.
Poor girl. It'll never escape her.
Her and Yoel, dude, they can fucking wear diapers when they fight from now on.
Oh God.
That Ramos Bill Algeo fight's interesting to me.
I was thinking that too, Matt.
It is interesting. I think Ramos is gonna win. I think he's super skilled, but I think that he, when the pressure's on him, he kind of folds.
Yeah.
But I don't see Algeo as like this world beater that's gonna put that pressure on him. So I'll pick Ramos for the win here.
Yeah, I was looking at him as a dog. I don't know. What about what's good? Who's Chase Sherman fighting? Is he fighting Arlovsky?
Arlovsky, bro.
Dude, that might be the sketchiest line in the history.
What is it?
Dude, Arlovsky's only minus 125.
I would take Arlovsky all day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It's kind of sketchy. Like, who the fuck? First of all, he's one fight back in the UFC, beat Isaac Villanueva and
Ike Villanueva.
Yeah, and then fucking Arlovsky, he lost his last fight pretty handedly, but prior to that, he rattled off a couple of wins, no?
That Aspinall was his last fight, right?
Yeah, he beat Bozer, he beat Lins.
Yeah, Bozer. I was on the Bozer train heavy.
Yeah, he beat Rothwell, lost to Augusto Sakai, but he was supposed to lose to Aspinall. Like Chase Sherman, we all know he sucks. Like Arlovsky could easily grind him out for 3 rounds, takedowns and shit, and play this more of a, he's been a little bit less brawl.
We've been gaining traction, and this is just us shooting the shit like we always said it was going to be. But I wonder if when eventually people replay these episodes and Chase Sherman, we all know he sucks.
I mean, I don't mean it. He's dope on Twitter, but
he follows us on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, good.
I'm coming to fuck you up.
Tony Gravely.
Tony Gravely's a lock.
Yeah,
I think Burchak is awful.
He is awful. He looks like dude. Oh my god.
Mike's favorite fighter, Dakota Bush.
And Matt's least favorite fighter, Bartosz Fabinski, because he beat his favorite fighter, Darren Stewart.
Darren Stewart.
In Cage Warriors.
Matt.
Yeah.
Remember when Eric Anders knocked out Darren Stewart?
The next day you tried to defend it.
Remember that fight got stopped early?
That DQ is the funniest thing ever because Matt got a win for that. We got losses. Me and Mike sniffed that underdog out. He was a big underdog too. It was insane. Plus 175. I was like, this is big. Amazing. And he beat the shit out of him. Actually, Anders said he has a fight signed.
He does. I don't think it's been released yet, but yeah.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Bro, he looks good, man. Whatever they're doing over there at what is it, Fight Ready?
In Alabama.
Whatever they're doing over there, man, it's working.
It's really I love Eric Anderson. He's a great Instagram follow.
Yeah, he is.
He's just so and I don't mean this in a race way. He's does the whole stereotypical black thing funny. He's funny about it. He has an accent, a Southern accent, and he makes it, he emphasizes it, which is really funny. I saw a video the other day. He's making a man cave in his basement. His wife, Yasmin Anders, is hot. She used to be a bodybuilder or something. So she's just in really good shape. And he's like, yeah, this is the man cave. And he's shows the whole thing. And his wife is walking out of the room. And he zooms in on her ass. He goes, that shit come with it. I was dying, bro. I was dying. He's awesome.
Yo, you see that beef between mostly just Gordon Ryan going over the edge like he always does with Dylan Dennis? Bro, I love it, man. I love when he just picks on somebody and just torches them and pokes them and pokes them and pokes them.
Well, it's crazy because Dennis has a bigger following than Gordon, even though Gordon is
significantly bigger.
Yeah, like 2.5 times bigger. And Gordon is just when they interview him, he goes, dude, it's funny because I just poke at Dylan because I know he's not gonna fucking answer me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's and good for him. He's I wouldn't fucking answer me because he knows he can't beat me. He can't. He literally cannot beat him. And yeah, it's also funny. Gordon posts screenshots. He's known for that shit. And Dennis is yeah, I'll fuck you up all while Gordon's yeah, I'll be here at this time for the rest of the week. See you soon.
I'll give you 10,000 of my own dollars and tell you how I'm gonna finish the fight, and he still won't sign.
Yeah. Lucas Hulk Barbosa, who also beat Dylan.
Yeah.
Dude, he's hilarious.
Screenshots his record. What is like 18 and 16?
16.
I'm 91 and 4.
Yeah, dude. It's wild.
Goat stuff.
Wild. Goat status. But yeah, what else is going on? Oh, well, we got to talk about it. It's going to be in the thumbnail.
Yeah, I was just about to bring it up.
Askren and Jake Paul finally fucking boxing. Did you see Askren's open workout? I saw the funniest picture. Someone was like, great. Now Jake Paul has sexual assault allegations and plays touch butt in the park. He's literally Conor McGregor. Dude, I'm dying, bro. But yeah, I mean, he's actually the favorite over Ben Askren, which is so crazy. And I tweeted this morning. It got some traction. It just makes me so fucking upset. 2-time Hodge Trophy winner, which is literally like winning the Heisman Trophy. Won it twice. He's in, like, to win it once is so fucking insane. The fact that he won it twice is like, people don't understand how fucking unreal that is. Olympian level wrestler, one champion, Bellator champion, competed at ADC, won Pan Ams, like just so fucking good at wrestling and grappling in general. Elite of elite, better than 99.99999% of the human population. Top 1% of the 1% of wrestlers. Now, gets knocked out by Masvidal late in his career, late into his 30s, and now I said Masvidal, right? Got knocked out by Masvidal. Now, if he loses to Jake Paul, that's what his legacy will be to 99.999% of people. And it makes me so sad.
I don't even think it's an if. He's going to lose.
Hear me out.
Oh, here we go again. What, Mike?
So, okay. I got to give a credit to Daniel Levy, the guy that does Best Fight Picks. He was talking about how, like, he was talking about the Alex Munoz fight, and Alex Munoz versus Luis Pena. And Alex Munoz is a wrestler from birth, whatever. He's probably going to lose that fight. But what he said, what I liked, is because he's been a wrestler since birth, collegiate wrestler. Went 3 rounds with Nasrat Haqparast. He's tough mentally, right? And that's because he's been a wrestler since birth. And you got Askren over here with the same pedigree, if not tenfold, right? Usually, probably. He's got the mental edge here when the bell dings, right? Because he knows that he's been in deep waters before, regardless. I know it's boxing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But he has the mental edge for the duration of the fight. The skills undoubtedly go to Jake Paul, as much as I hate saying that. The skills go to Jake Paul. The mental edge goes to Ben. I'm not saying Ben is going to win, but the odds are close enough to where, like, I don't know. I feel like there is a chance for him to win. I really don't think anybody really knows how it's going to go down. So if anybody's confident in Jake Paul, or if anybody's confident in Ben Askren, I think you're crazy. I think it's just going to be a shit show.
Yeah, one of my buddies, your guys' buddy as well, Evan Cowan, texted me and was like, yo, who should I bet on? I was like, don't fucking bet on it. You know what I mean? I was like, just don't. This is like it's a freak show. It's not a fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ben Askren has been punched, a billion fucking times. Has been in there with like guys like Douglas Lima rather. Jake Paul has been there with Nate Robinson and whoever the fuck that first idiot was that he knocked out in a minute that looked like he never put boxing gloves on in his life. You know what I mean? Like another YouTuber. And then
that's true. Like Jake Paul's not going to hit him with anything he hasn't felt before.
Yeah, bro. He's gotten punched by fucking Robbie Lawler and Douglas Lima.
Bro, that Robbie Lawler, he took punishment, man.
Dude.
I might go on Askren, bro.
Show us your bet.
Matt, show us your bet slips right now.
That is, dude, you are the worst person ever in the history of mankind to doubt himself. Pre-podcast, everyone, Matt said he was betting on Jake Paul. It's not even close. Pulled up his fucking bet slip and showed us that he's betting on Jake Paul. Now he's betting on Askren.
I like the over at 4.5.
I guess I don't mind that.
How many rounds are they going? 8 rounds?
Like, dude, what are the chances Jake Paul just comes out there and lights him up? Like, I know he's better, but I still can't see that happening.
Is it 8 rounds?
I don't know, Mike.
I think it's 10 rounds total.
I originally thought, all right, I'll do this. I originally thought it was 8. I mean 10. All right, we got one in. I took the over.
Super. What else is going on in the fucked up world of MMA, boys?
You saw that Cheeto Veras and Sean O'Malley turned the fight down?
Yeah, well, did you see Sean O'Malley called out Piotr Jan for just in the meantime, basically? He called out Cruz, which I thought was a hilarious call out. Did you see that video?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It was fucking funny, dude. He did a little rhyme about why everyone in the division's taken up, and he's acting all cool, and he's got a basketball, and there's a basketball hoop behind him, and he's like, "So who are you gonna fight?" And he throws and just airballs it and walks away. The video just ends. I thought it was fucking funny. Even Aljamain Sterling commented on it. I was like, "This is low key hilarious." Give him props, But yeah, other than that, fight I'm really pumped about down the pipeline. Dominic Reyes and Yuri Prochazka. We'll get to that obviously, but that's going to be a sweet fucking fight. The poster looks cool as hell. Fans are fucking back. I don't even know I think I said that in the beginning, but fans are fucking back. All these, I don't even want to be all the snowflakes on Twitter, but that's literally what it is, bro. Oh my God, you're going to do it without the vaccine. Oh, yeah, guess what? Vegas is open. It's too fucking bad, pussies. 20,000 fans.
All these people yelling about the fucking vaccine. And then Johnson & Johnson's like, actually, we're killing so many people and causing so many blood clots that it's not safe. And guess what? Yeah, we didn't test it nearly long enough, but I guess we used a couple people as guinea pigs. But don't worry, trust the fucking science.
You trust the numbers? They say 6 out of 8.6 million people got blood clots, and they're stopping it.
Yeah.
It might be skewed a little bit.
Bro, it's no comment before we get taken off fucking iTunes. We get decensored or censored, whatever the fuck it's called.
But
we never claim to be politically correct here.
Yeah. That's
and the least exciting title fight in UFC history has unfortunately been announced.
Oh my God.
I couldn't give a fuck less about this fight.
He's talking about Jan Blachowicz and Glover Teixeira for
at least
as if I needed to say it.
September though. We gotta wait.
Yeah. Who saw that fight announcement? Well, granted, anyone that follows the sport already knew it was happening, but it's like, yes. Nobody.
Glover Teixeira.
Just Glover. Yo, I saw I think Volkanovski was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to do the coaches, coach off against Ortega." And I responded, I was like, "Yeah, probably just you."
Yeah, you're probably the only person.
No one's.
I really hope that I would much rather see them be cool towards each other because they are they have there's no bad blood. I don't want them to be yeah, pussy, yeah. It's separated by the fighter. It's bro, this is
all cringy.
Brutal. You know what I mean? At least when TJ and Cody did it, they were got physical multiple times. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But I don't need that artificial bullshit.
You mean Chael P. Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva?
Well, now. Dude, that's steroid battle 2007, literally. Yep. But that's it. I don't really think there's too much else going on in the world of MMA. I mean, there's Tyson Fury and Ngannou. There's never ending news. You saw that? Tyson Fury said after he beats Anthony Joshua, he'll fucking beat up Francis Ngannou. And Ngannou responds, and then Ariel's tweeting it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Eddie Alvarez is gonna box Oscar fucking De La Hoya.
I'd rather eat my toenails than watch that fight.
Dude, I would love to see Eddie Alvarez fucking sleep Oscar De La Hoya, though, and so would Dana White.
Yeah.
So I was looking for that picture, the video for O'Malley, and I just got stuck scrolling on his Instagram. Maybe I'm just stoned, but this is the weirdest picture ever. I can't figure it out. It looks like he's cracking his coach in the face, but his coach is holding mitts.
Tim Welch.
You see what I mean? If you go on it, it looks like an action shot of his jaw getting snapped.
How far down the rabbit hole are you?
March 25th.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird, right?
It really does. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it's he posted on, there's a video, I think it was on his story, but it's on YouTube. If you look it up, it's 40 seconds long. But yeah, I don't want to drag it out, boys. What else? Anything?
All good over here.
I'm just pumped to see Tracy Cortez in Venom gear.
Bruh, you're not kidding. Seriously.
Yep. You think if I tweet that, I'll get hate?
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that.
you'll get both, but who cares? Oh, you're a womanizer, bro. No, I literally want to see Tracy Cortez and Venom.
Yeah. It's for who doesn't?
So, what's your guys' take on the Venom gear?
I think it's great. I think it's fine.
I do too. I don't have a problem with it, but it's like everyone was hyping up, like including me, like Venom, and it looks basically the same. I honestly I have no problem with it, but if I had to pick, I think the Reeboks was cleaner.
Word. I guess I'm just a Reebok hater for no reason at all. I was just pumped to see the change. So I'm cool with Venom for now, but
I just don't like the white lines all over the place.
Like the zigzags.
It just makes it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I think they tried to add some spin to it while keeping it like uniform. I don't know. It won't be the last ones that come out. Like the Reeboks, they did a couple, right? You know, like they had the first set and then they had that new
more. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, color wise. We shall see.
I mean, we're all still gonna buy a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna order shit probably next week. But
have you got anything yet or no?
Nah, I'm closing on the house tomorrow, guys. So
let's go. Finally, scumbag realtor.
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey.
Yeah. How much? So how long is the other people still living in there?
Till like I'm gonna probably move in like June 1st.
What's up, man? In time for summer.
Yeah.
Make sure you take a picture on your porch with Mickey, and he looks really shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kiss him right on the lips for the picture.
I will.
But that's it, boys.
All right, fellas. We'll see you all next week. We'll put the picks up.
If Ben Askren knocks out Jake Paul, me and Matt will kiss on the next podcast.
Deal.
Good deal.
Peace out, y'all.